boxing special from Phoenix, Arizona, taking center stage tonight, the controversial Hector Camacho Jr., the 23-year-old with 33 wins as a pro, 1 no contest, 19 knockouts. Camacho came under heavy fire in July of last year, fighting in New York against Jesse James Leija. Round number 1, Leija, the former champion, took the action right to Camacho and stunned him with a right hand. In fact, Leija would press the action throughout the course of this fight. Leija was cut early. He kept on fighting. Round number 3, Camacho answered back with a good left hand. In round number 5, a clash of heads. And this is where the controversy would start. Camacho would suffer a nick over the right eye. The doctors took a look at it. They felt he could go on. Camacho said it was blurry. He could not see. So what happened? They would go to the judges' scorecards. Even though by most accounts Leija was winning this fight, home cooking prevailed, and Camacho was ahead on the judges' scorecards, and he would get the decision despite the protests of Jesse James Leija. Leija's camp was not through with this one. They filed a protest with the state of New York. The fight was overturned to a no contest. Camacho was supposed to fight Leija in October in San Antonio, backed out of that fight. Instead, in November, he took on a much lesser opponent, Eric Jakubowski. Jakubowski took this fight on 7 days' notice. Easy fight for Camacho, padding the record, improving his record with another knockout victory. He finished this one in the 4th round, but the Leija controversy continued to linger. Tonight he gets Omar Weis. This is a tough guy from Argentina, 29 years of age, 33, 3-3, 16 knockouts. His last 5 fights, well, he hasn't won in almost 2 years, but there's a story behind the story in these last 5. We saw him on Friday Night Fights on June the 16th in California in the backyard of Antonio Diaz. Diaz's own corner had him losing 5 or 6 of the first 7 rounds. Omar Weis was accurate. Omar Weis was effective. Omar Weis took the fight to Antonio Diaz. Diaz would have his moments as this fight wore on. Very close fight, but home cooking again, and Diaz would win an easy unanimous decision victory. Omar Weis got a tough break in that one. Then he went to Connecticut here on Friday Night Fights against Ray Oliveira. Now, Oliveira is known as a punching machine, but Omar Weis went into Oliveira's backyard, and according to the CompuBox numbers, he actually threw more punches than Oliveira. This was a very close fight. Weis was busier, more accurate, but this one was ruled a draw. He had another draw after that, but tonight a big showdown for Omar Weis and Hector Camacho Jr. Very important fight. Omar Weis is in the ring and ready to roll. He's 29 years of age from Buenos Aires. 33 wins as a pro, 16 knockouts, coming off a draw against Alejandro Jimenez. Hector Camacho Jr. styles himself as a showman, although he says, I'm nothing like my father. Keep my nose clean. A family man, but I realize I have to entertain people. Well, he entertained everybody involved with this promotion yesterday because of weight issues. Let's run you through all the problems yesterday. The contract for the fight was 143 pounds. At the weigh-in, Weis was 141, Camacho 147. Weis camp said Camacho had to lose 2 pounds. They wanted an extra $10,000 on top of his $15,000 purse. Camacho Jr. went to the gym to lose weight. Voila! Came back even 4 pounds heavier, 151 pounds. Weis said, hey, I want $15,000 on top of my $15,000 purse. Promoter Jeff Reed, who has taken over this from America Presents, said there'll be no more weigh-ins. Camacho made 147. He's 151. We'll give you 10 grand. Weis says, I'll take 12,500. So, Teddy, a couple of issues here. Unfortunately, boxing had to go to the back rooms. Again, this thing was contracted for 143. They go to the back rooms. Weis gets double his purse. Camacho gets the fight at 151 pounds. It's a lack of professionalism by Camacho to come in this much overweight and then not lose the 2 pounds.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But more importantly, let's take it away from Camacho. I'm always talking about a national commission. There should be some accountability. There should be some demand of standards. There should be somebody in charge that says, hey, you can't do that. There will be a penalty to pay if you do that. There was none of that. Look, my son plays Pee-wee football. They play in a special division. You have to make weight. If the kid doesn't make weight, He doesn't play. Why does professional boxing allow this? Please.
And here's how ludicrous the whole thing is. Camacho's promotional people told Weis, you don't want the fight, we're taking you out, we'll bring in another replacement. So they are just enabling Camacho to not have to make the weight. And Omar Weis gets to double his purse.
In other words, you don't do your job, you get rewarded. No accountability. That's the way we're going here. I mean, listen, we are in the home state of one of the few politicians in this country who has integrity. Senator John McCain. John McCain, you're a good man. You like boxing. Please help us. Step up and get us a national commission where we won't have weak commissions like this that allow boxing to go down to the dumps and have no standards. Please help us.
And a final thought, what kind of message does this say about Camacho coming off that controversy with Leija, then refusing the rematch, and now coming in well overweight? Time for the strategy of this fight as we take you inside Atlas's world. Let's start with Hector Camacho Jr.
Well, for Hector Camacho to stay undefeated, first of all, he's going to have to snap that jab out. Not pull with it, because he'll get counted. He'll give up his speed if he pulls. Also, change your pattern. Don't always go in and out one way. Come in on the sides. Don't be predictable. And Weis throws a slow jab. Throw that right hook open, and every once in a while, don't depend on counters. Set up leads. Also, for Weis, he's got to go to the body. No better way to take the speed away from Camacho than to bang that body. Also, feint Camacho. Make a move sooner than he wants to. Then you can time him. Camacho's tricky. Also, get Camacho into exchanges. Get him to punch with you. He's very fast. Don't let him set the tempo. If you can get him to punch with you, you can find him, you can hit him.
Omar Weis has only been stopped once in his career as a professional, 141 pounds. He's giving away close to 10 pounds, but he almost doubled his purse. He was scheduled to make $15,000. He had the 12.5 on top of that, and he's walking out of here with $25,500 to fight Hector Camacho Jr. You know, one of the alibis that the Camacho people were saying was that his promotional people never make him have to really make the weight in these non-title fights. Well, again, people enabling him. He is not being made accountable. Not that he's a bad kid or anything. He's a married man. He has a young daughter. Doesn't get into trouble outside of the ring or anything like that. But you want to be considered a professional and respected, you have to act professional as well. Arizona rules will be used for tonight's main event. And they are as follows. As you got to look at referee Bobby Ferrara. 3 knockdown rule in effect. No standing 8 count. Only the referee can stop it. Fighter can be saved with the bell in the final round only. Accidental foul. They'll go to the scorecards after 3 rounds are complete. So Hector Camacho Jr. will take on Omar Weis. You followed Friday Night Fights. You know that Omar Weis doesn't mess around. He's not in awe of being in someone's hometown or someone's home country. Goes about his business.
Well, there's no doubt here that the faster man is the southpaw, Hector Camacho Jr. But there are ways to negate speed. There are ways to negate all kinds of physical God-given advantages. And Weis needs to find that way. Timing is one way. He can time Camacho, not getting into a shootout, not into a speed contest, but just time Camacho as he's throwing. He can be successful.
Well, just like James Leija did. I mean, I think James would probably admit that at this point in his career he's not faster than Camacho, but he timed him. And even though when they went to those scorecards or whatever, Camacho was really the first to win. You saw the fight, I saw the fight. Leija was winning the fight.
Yes, he was. I thought that Leija won the first 2 rounds, hurt Camacho. Then Camacho, to his credit, came back in the second 2 rounds. I thought he evened it up. But then in the 5th round, Leija was winning the round. He was pulling himself ahead in the fight. And then the cut occurred. And Camacho did not handle that well. Although Camacho did handle being hurt by punches the first 2 rounds better than he handled the cut. Sometimes you don't fight him. I got to fight him who's never been in certain areas, never tested in certain areas, never cut before, will not react well. again, you can see Weis doesn't just want to walk into fast punches. He's trying to wait for the right spot. Trying to get Camacho to lead to him. Then he knows Camacho is there. And he can put his glove on something and not leave himself susceptible. One of the greatest assets of Camacho is not just leading. It's when he makes you miss, makes you get out of position, makes you cooperate with him, then he counters. Weis does not want to cooperate with Camacho. Weis does not want to do some of Camacho's work for him. Does not want to leave himself wide open. That's why you're going to see a little chess here. It's not that Weis is tentative. It's just that Weis understands when he throws, he doesn't want to leave himself vulnerable. He understands he must throw at the right time.
Feeling out process in round one. Not a lot of clean punches landed from either guy.
Here's a lesson for the would-be Casanova. Every so often, it's advantageous to remind the
career in the ring, never really, I think, maximized his potential.
He did win world titles, was a terrific fighter, but as you said, people expected him to dominate, have more longevity. But having longevity is not about just talent. It's about how you live your life. It's about the choices you make. That is what creates consistency or takes it away. But give Camacho Sr. credit. Won world titles, he's still around, he's made a lot of money. And as you said very well, he has reinvented himself many times to be able to come back and earn money.
A master promoter. You can sell ice in the North Pole. Now, this is a very awkward fight for Omar Weis and Hector Camacho Jr. Any guy able to really find the proper range. Camacho is shifty.
Camacho has the temperament and the speed to want to counterpunch. But he has trouble sometimes leading with men who do not make themselves available. Weis is not making himself available. Camacho needs to find ways to lead, to control the offense when he's not countering. Right there, you can see Camacho looking for that right hook counter. Camacho wants help. He wants Weis to reach in. This way he can tag him. Weis doesn't want to do that. Weis wants to use a jab, use feints, try to make Camacho move too soon, and then time Camacho. In this kind of fight, this kind of chess match, whoever can use their jab, find a way to use their jab without leaving themselves open defensively, will be able to control the pace of the fight. Both fighters should be looking to go to the body, because both guys can be elusive. There's not much to find on the head. Go downstairs to the body.
Camacho had Weis in a headlock, and then he punched him.
Hold it, I got it. Surprised Weis is not looking to go to the body a little bit more. He is using a feint, trying to get a premature move out of Camacho, so he can time Camacho when he moves. Once again, whoever uses that jab in this fight will probably control the fight.
Camacho shoots the counter combination and nails Weis going back against the ropes.
Stop! On Saturday.
Teddy, you know it? Don't answer it, but do you know it?
Thinking about it right now. Not sure.
All right, you have 3 minutes. Weis was 0 for 23 with his jab in round 2. Not a man who's very active and accurate in the last round.
I talked earlier about whoever can use the jab and whoever can go to the body can dictate this fight. There's one other side to that coin. Whoever can get the other fighter to leave, to get frustrated, to throw caution to the wind, can get his way. He can get counter opportunities, scoring opportunities. In other words, it's important for Weis to find a way to control the pace, but be patient. Not leave himself wide open, but not so patient where he stands in front and allows Camacho with his quick hands to get confidence and to start to pick him apart.
Not a knockdown. Just slip. They got tied up.
At 137 pounds. He's been a natural junior welterweight his whole career. Camacho turned forward as a junior welterweight. Has fought several fights in welterweight. As we talked about, he was 151 pounds yesterday. You know he ate. He looks like a junior middleweight, almost a middleweight in there. A lot of people are going to say he's the bigger guy. Maybe that will play into the fight. I don't think so. Because for that to play into the fight, you have to have the temperament to be aggressive, Bob. The temperament to use that side. Camacho doesn't have that temperament, so the size probably will not affect this fight or affect Weis.
But Camacho's movement and awkward style is giving Weis all kinds of problems because he can't figure out how to land a punch.
It will not be the size and strength of Camacho, you're right. It will be the style, the speed, the southpaw stance, the counterpunching. That will affect Weis.
Well, even a slowed down Camacho, overweight Camacho, is still too slick for Omar Weis. Weis has got to figure out a strategy to deal with this.
He's starting to fall into the trap that happens when you fight. The tricky fighter starting to reach a little bit.
Hold it, stop punching. Stop punching.
This is crabgrass. I don't want to see crabgrass.
With Jack Sharkey, I can't lie.
Hector Jr.
Hold it. Stop punching. Stop punching. Come on.
Some places they would not allow a member of camp to be on a stage right near the ring screaming instructions.
You just knew in this fight that somebody was going to be forced, was going to be put in their lap to carry the fight, to be the aggressor. It looks like Weis is the one who's making that choice. You know, he's still trying to do it carefully and not be foolish, not walk into punches. He is the one who is being aggressive right here.
And attacks Camacho with a left hand as Camacho started walking away. Weis is a rough guy.
This is going to be interesting here, Bob. You're right, he is rough.
He's rough. We saw him against Diaz. We saw him against Oliveira. He's not going to back down. He's limited skill-wise.
What's going to be interesting about this fight is if somebody can find a way to be aggressive, because that's what you're trying to do, find a way to control the other man. If somebody can find a way to be aggressive, they can control the fight. But on the other hand, by trying to be aggressive, you feed into the other fighter's strength, especially Camacho's. He's looking for counter opportunities. So you have to find a way to be aggressive and not fail it. Still be responsible defensively. That makes for an intriguing match. I think we have that here.
Good body work there by Weis. Camacho saying it was low. Oh, that was right on the belt. Plus, Camacho's belt is over his belly button. It's halfway up his chest. They got to lower his trunks down. You can't be warning the guy for a low blow when the guy's wearing his belt line up near his chest.
The referee needs to do a better job, no doubt about it. The fighters depend on the referees to make sure that the rules are followed. They are the person that makes sure there's a balance in that ring. The person that makes sure things are done properly.
Well, Weis is taking the aggressive approach. She's going to take the chance of getting countered because that's the only way. If this fight stays on the outside in a boxing match, he's going to look silly. He's got to take the chance.
Well, the old timers would say if it wasn't for Weis, there'd be no fight because neither man would be coming forward.
Swelling under the right eye of Weis. Weis has landed the more telling blows here in round number 4, his best round of the fight.
If you can turn to the chart on the bottom of...
After the right hand was on the belt line. Neither punch was the wrong place. Neither punch was low.
The belt line is good. Look where Camacho's trunks are. I mean, he's got the protective belt. Look at Weis. He's running across the ring. Hey, the bell rang. The bell rang. The referee's not allowed to step in there, right?
The bell did ring. Weis was doing nothing illegal. He was being aggressive.
The bell rang and he sprinted across and the referee stopped him from throwing a punch.
Poor job by this referee. Let's get the right reps in these fights. Let's make sure we have a lot of reps out there. Let's make sure commission. And this is not a good commission. They showed that yesterday at the weigh-in. Let's make sure the commission put the best referees into the fights. That referee was supposed to make sure that the seconds got out at the 10-second warning. Make sure that the fighters are ready to go at the bell.
Right? When that bell rings, that's the start of the round.
That's the
referee's job to get him out of the ring with 10 seconds to go before the bell rings.
And it's Weis' job to be ready to fight. He was ready to do his job. The way Weis looks at this fight, the way he drew it up for himself, he knows he doesn't match the speed of Camacho, but he knows in deep waters he can depend on himself. He wants to get Camacho into deep waters. He is not sure Camacho is reliable in deep waters.
Well, Omar Weis may be from Argentina, but it is clear who the fans here in Phoenix want to see win. It's Omar Weis. The majority of the fans here seem to have no use for the Camacho clan.
Weis has been the most important quality Weis has going for him. We always talk about physical advantages, speed, power, footwork, elusiveness. We don't talk about intangibles quite enough sometimes. And that is the quality Weis has going for him. He has been in tough fights before. Camacho has only been in one, and he didn't do well.
No, on the right hand by Weis scores. Camacho quit in his last fight.
In other words, we measure sometimes guys by physical talent, physical abilities too much. We forget about character. We forget about those things, about how a person conducts himself when he has to. Come on, come on.
Well, we'll see how he handles adversity. The first 2.5 rounds were easy for Camacho Jr. Weis took the action to him in round number 4. Weis has taken the action to him in round 5.
You want to be good physically, you have to work at it. You want a good jab, you work at it. You want a good win, you do road work. You want muscles, you do weights. If you want to have a strong temperament, a strong resolve, like Weis does, you have to be in tough fights. Weis has been in tough fights. Let's see what happens to Camacho.
Weis turning his back there. That's a mistake by Weis. You don't turn your back.
No, he heard the 10-second warning, and he made a mistake.
Still a good round for Omar Weis as he took the action of Hector Camacho Jr. Tomorrow night in the same building, James Lights Out Tony takes center stage on ESPN2's Friday Night Fights, presented by Miller High Life. James Lights Out Tony, former world champion, a fit 195 pounds today at the weigh-in. Tony wants another big fight. He'll take on Sione Asapelli from Tonga. That's 9 p.m. Eastern, Cruiserweight. Friday Night Fights presented by Miller High Life. Well, Teddy, let's listen to the beginning of round 5. Listen for the bell. There's the bell. There goes Omar Weis. The corner wasn't out. Weis was ready to throw punches. Camacho's corner was starting to defend him.
if we had a national commission, they would rate this referee. And you know what they would say? They would say, you got to sit on the sidelines now for a couple fights. Earn your way back to doing big fights. Because the ref did not do his job there. He did not clear out that corner. He was not set for the action. But Weis was.
Camacho's corner people, they were playing defense there. Well, a frantic fifth round in which Omar Weis just went after Camacho. He landed right hands. No knockdowns or anything, but Weis is the aggressor. He's taking the action to Camacho, seeing how he handles the adversity.
There's still danger there, though. Whoever can be the aggressor can control this fight. This referee doesn't seem to be on the side of the man from Argentina.
Now, Camacho has pulled the trunks and the protective cuff up high. He's already warned Weis once before for a low blow, even though both of them were on the belt line, which is good.
As I said before, whoever can find a way to be aggressive can control this fight, but Weis still has to find a way without leaving himself open. You can hear the
crowd doesn't like the referee either.
You can hear the reaction of the crowd, what they think of what's going on in that ring, especially in regard to the way the referee is conducting himself.
Omar Weis has won the fans in Phoenix over against Hector Camacho Jr.
Even though Weis is being aggressive, trying to control this fight, trying to break down Camacho mentally, there is still danger there. He must not reach in. He reached in with the right hand before. If he does that, he can leave himself wide open to a counterpunch by the bigger, stronger Camacho. If you leave yourself wide open, and you don't see the punch coming, you can have bad problems. You can be affected by those kind of punches.
There's a punch to the hip thrown by Camacho.
Weis needs to use that jab like that to get close. Back up Camacho with the jab. Take those counter-punching lanes and opportunities away from Camacho. And then, when you get closer, let your hands go. Don't reach.
Right hand scores by Omar Weis.
Jab used to set that up. Weis was able to close the gap, close the distance.
Weis shoots it right to the body. Camacho counters with a left. Barely even fight through 6 rounds between Hector Camacho Jr. and Omar Weis. They're scheduled for 10.
Talk me in.
First up, surveillance cams.
The outside, Omar Weis has decided to pick up the aggression and press the fight a little bit more. Camacho with a nice counter there. And now security has taken Hector Sr. away. He's been going right up by the ropes on the catwalk. And someone has finally stepped in and said, hey, you can't be yelling instructions. There's one corner. Buy a ticket and sit in the stands and yell.
And while Camacho is trying to tie up on the inside, Weis is doing a small thing, Bob. Shoe shining, moving his hands to the body and head. Just letting his hands go.
Omar Weis taking the action. Hector Camacho Sr. being moved away by security guards.
Camacho Jr. smiling on the outside, but frowning on the inside.
Hey, how about this stat according to CompuBox? In the last 3 rounds, Camacho Jr. has not landed a jab.
The problem with Camacho, 2 things here, Bob. He looks for the count, and he can be effective, but when he doesn't get the situation, he doesn't know how to lead. He doesn't know how to take charge. He doesn't have that temperament to get off first and set up his offense when you don't set it up for him by walking into counter.
When you look at Teddy Atlas's scorecard, you have a 59-56 for Weis. That was 57-57 through 6.
This is professional boxing. The man who's pressing the fight, as long as he's doing it effectively, the man who's making the fight, landing the more significant punches, controlling the theme and the pace, that man should be rewarded rounds. That man, so far, is Weis.
Camacho landed a good left hand there before. You see, Weis has outlanded Camacho 12-4 in this round, according to CompuBox. But the punches are too few and far between. Maybe one of the big lessons in this fight for Hector Camacho Jr. is you got to be in shape. Campaigning as a junior welterweight, sure, a couple pounds over, but not 12 pounds overweight.
Especially if it becomes the kind of fight where you can't sit back at your own pace and just pick your spots and counter when you want at a leisurely pace. The pace is quick, which Weis is trying to make the best he can. Then, being out of shape can start to tell.
Good jab there by Camacho. He needs some more of that to hold off Weis. Been cautioned for low blows. Been some dirty antics in the fight. The low blows thrown by, there's a right hand by Weis. The low blows were actually right on the belt line. Teddy's scorecard 69-65 for Weis. I had it closer. 67-66. I gave Camacho the first 3 rounds.
Who knows how the judges have it?
Teddy, just take a look at a CompuBox sheet handed to me by Gennaro Hernandez and Joe Carnicelli. Through 7 rounds, Camacho has only landed 3 of 106 jabs.
That is because that is a good graphic to show. Oh, this is ridiculous. What is the referee doing here?
Taking a point away from Weis. This guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Maybe he does know what he's doing. That's what scares me.
Gennaro Hernandez was out now fancy to throw stuff in the ring. Yeah. See, this is what's going to happen. Now Camacho, who we know is fine, looks to find ways out, or at least he did in Leja. Going to milk this for all it's worth. Fans are starting to throw things.
This has shadows of Jesse James Leon written all over it.
Let's take a look at it, Teddy. Let's take a look at it. Camacho's moving away. He jumps up in the air.
That punch was on the belt line, not low. It was not on the stomach, I give you that, but it was not.
Well, Camacho jumped.
It was not a punch that really hurts you. That there is a cup on. Now, I don't want to be in his place, in his shoes, and say that I could feel his pain, that being Camacho's. But that is a protective cup that is made out of iron and is encased in leather.
But the thing is, Camacho jumped in the air, and that caused the punch to even be low.
That's a very good point, Bob.
He jumped. I mean, if you jump every time a body punch is coming, you'll draw low blows every time.
There is no doubt about it. I don't think I'm going out too far to say Camacho mentally is having problems keeping himself together. Now it's a matter of how much effective pressure Weis can put on him and how much Weis can push him downhill. Something subtle there. You see that?
Yeah.
Camacho just tapped Weis on the backside when they were in close. That's like saying, hey, buddy, come on. Let's make a little silent agreement here, buddy. Okay? I know a lot of people are going to say, come on, Ted, that's good sportsmanship. Hey, we're in the ring. You can shake hands afterwards. Sometimes that's a guy saying, hey, let's be friends. Sometimes that's a sign of a guy maybe starting to break down.
So the story here in round 8. Weis loses a point for a low blow. Sure, it was low. Camacho was jumping. But the fact is the 2 previous warnings against Weis were for legitimate punches that the referee elected to rule on. Even though we have replays that show both of them were right on the belt, a belt that is being worn high by Camacho.
And a belt which the referee never has made Camacho low.
Straight right hand by Weis. It's been a good round for Weis.
It's going to be an even round because of that point taken away.
Let's take a look at the low blow here in round 8 where Weis loses a point. Camacho is on the move. There's a right hand. Camacho jumps in the air. And it was below the belt line. There's no question about it. But Camacho was airborne. Now, earlier in the fight, watch. Right hand right there was ruled a low blow, and the left hand was right on the belt line. Both of those punches were ruled low blows, even though clearly one was above the belt and one was on the belt. That's why the point got deducted in this round.
And again, as you pointed out very well, the only reason in the last round that punch was low, Camacho jumped high, forced that punch to go low. And again, it was not what I thought, in my humble estimation, a damaging punch.
Take a look at the punches landing per round. The ref is missing pretty good action. 61 over 52. Weis has had the edge. He's been the aggressor.
Again, on good punch stats people have shown us, and you brought up very well, the missing jab of Camacho. His style, he should use a jab. But he has the temperament of looking for counters so much, he doesn't have the attitude, the temperament, or maybe I should say the confidence right now to use that jab the way he should, to set up offense, to control Weis. In the moments when he can't get counter opportunities, Camacho's living only by the counter right now. And you know what? Weis is not giving it to him.
Camacho sticking his tongue out at Weis, climbing around, and look at that, there's a headlock.
Camacho looking to grab every time they get close. Weis looking to punch.
Got to shake.
That's part of it. No doubt about it. The scales don't lie. He's out of shape mentally, too. Hasn't been in tough fights. 2 fights ago, he had a very difficult fight with Judge James Leon. Mentally, I would argue, I would offer that Camacho is tentative, not confident, having doubts.
Well, some of the boxing people with some of the other fighters, Camacho again backpedaling, Weis couldn't get a clean shot on him. Some of the people yesterday around boxing, around the sport, boxing people were speculating that Camacho, the reason why he gained 4 pounds after weighing, because he didn't want to fight Weis, because he knew Weis was going to be tough.
Right now, this fight is simple. One man's fighting. The other man is looking for one shot, looking to survive. The man fighting, nobody has to be told. The man in the blue.
Well, Weis had a tough decision go against him against Antonio Diaz in India on Friday night fights. He had that draw against Oliveira, even though he outworked Oliveira. He has taken the fight to Hector Camacho Jr. At least through the last 6 rounds, Camacho controlled it early, but Weis is digging in and battling hard. Key, though, could be that 8th round when Weis had a point deducted. Did the judges make it a 2-point round for Camacho or an even round? Did they have Weis winning it?
You want them coming out just right. Terrific. Cheer him up.
$6.84 in favor of Weis.
Why is the referee only looking at Weis when they were both punching during the clinch?
Well, he's allowed Camacho to hold Weis's head. He allowed Camacho to hit him after the bell. But the only point that's been deducted so far in this fight has been Omar Weis for a low blow. Now Camacho using the heel of the glove to rub the face of Weis.
You know what's great about this squared circle here? You can't lie. You can lie outside, but when you get in there, the truth comes forth. You can equalize things. You can have a better outfit, a better designer, a better promotional team, better looks. But you can even everything out if you have resolve, if you have determination, if you have desire, and if you are up to the task.
But Camacho is able to just do whatever he wants in there. The referee, Bobby Ferrara, is only looking at one person in this fight. That's Omar Weis.
Sometimes outside in the world, people with more money with more privilege can be ahead. I think one of the reasons people love to watch boxing is that things can get evened up real quickly in that squared circle. It's not about privilege. It's about what you make yourself on that night. The decisions, the choices you make. How you live your life.
Come on.
Camacho again, only looking for counters, not using that jab.
You know, Camacho is having one of his better rounds than he's had in a while. He's actually boxed more effectively and used his jab. There's another headlock.
I know he's boxed, he's moved. But to box, you must also throw punches. A lot of people are going to say, why does Camacho fall with his jab? Well, you know he can do better than that. That is because he's not confident. He's a little bit tentative. He's not sure of himself enough to snap it.
Well, Camacho has been more aggressive here in this 10th round. At least according to my eyes, he's winning this round. Omar Weis has been on the short end of a couple of fights in the United States.
Weis has given opportunities to Camacho by reaching in, not jabbing his way in. But Camacho has not made him pay.
Well, there's the bell. The fans here in Phoenix feel that Omar Weis is a winner. Does Camacho's clout and his name get him another win? We'll find out after this time out. Tyler. Patrick. 94 for Weis. The cards that matter are held by our ring announcer, Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards, and we have a unanimous decision. Judge Aaron Kaiser scores about 96-94. Judge Joe Garcia scores about 95-94. And Judge Burton Kruglich scores about 96-93. All in favor of your winner, Omar Weis.
Hector Camacho Jr. suffers his first loss. Omar Weis got double the payday, gave away 10 pounds, and still gives Camacho Jr. his first loss. He wins a unanimous decision victory. Good for him.
Good job by Weis. Poor job by Camacho.
We'll talk to you tomorrow night from right here in Phoenix. Sports Center coming up next with